It's time for
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
Desert Bloom, and it has a desert sub-theme, and it's land themed. And if you've built a land deck, you have a lot of those cards in here. And if you're looking to get into that, which is a popular theme, I think this one's all right to do it. But 3 new cards is Embrace the Unknown, which is 2 and a red sorcery. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, and until the end of your next turn, you get to play those cards. And so that is including lands, and it has Retrace, which means you can discard a land card and recast this from the graveyard. And so you can repeat that as much as you have land possible. I like that a lot.
Yep, that's solid.
Well, just think about it. If you're looking at 2 more cards, but you got to discard a land, you can play a land if that shows up. So you're more likely to use some of those lands to try and do that kind of thing.
Just keep the land in your hand so you can discard and keep doing it. Yeah.
And so I think it's going to do a lot of work.
Yep, I like that one.
And then another one is Dune Chanter, 2 and a green, 2/3 reach, and basically lands you control have they can tap for any color, and then it can tap to mill 2 cards, and you gain a life, and then I can't really read that.
Okay, so it's all your lands are deserts, including what they are, and then yeah, any land or your lands tap for any mana, and then you mill 2 cards, gain a life for each land milled this way. I think it's each. Yeah, it is land. God, I put a shadow on the editing of the thumbnail, and I'm like, I can't even see it.
Son of a gun.
So yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, it's making I don't know, desert is going to be a thing, I guess, with this stuff.
Yeah, it's
making deserts more relevant, but it's color fixing. So your 5 color decks, this is fantastic. You can, back this with chromatic lantern and all that stuff, and then gain some life if you mill. The problem is it's only when you mill those 2 cards. So really, you're gaining 1 to 2 life. But if you're playing lands from the graveyard, then this is kind of a nice card to have there. So I dig it. I dig it. And then you got this big 8/8.
And then Rumbleweed, which auto-corrected to Tumbleweed to you, and that got confusing.
I was like, I don't know where this card is.
But it's 10 and a green, 8/8. It costs 1 less to cast for each land card in your graveyard. It has Vigilance, Reach, Trample, and when it ETBs, all of your creatures get +3/+3 and Trample until end of turn. This in the right kind of, like in Mothman, this is a 1 mana 8/8.
That's a good
giving point. Like that's a 1 mana overrun with an 8/8 Vigilance, Reach, Trample backup. Like in the right, Takasia loves this. Like there are definitely decks that this can go into and be a legit threat.
Yeah, for sure.
So
get Rog Monster.
I'm excited for that one as well.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we got some sweet new cards in here. How's the value?
Not so good.
Well, this is only $40 deck, so let's get there. So you have
there's a reason for that. You have 4 cards that are over $5. You have Ancient Gree Warden at 12.
That's a good card.
Scoot Swarm at 5. Oracle of Moldiah at $6.50, and Avenger of Zendikar that's at $5.
Those are solid reprints right there. I like those.
Like if they're solid. And then you have 3 cards over 2 to 5 range.
It's insane.
Like, that's brutal. I could just name them too.
Yeah, go ahead. Like, I mean, we have time with that.
That's Chromatic Lantern, World Shaper, and Ramunap Excavator.
Well, Ramunap.
So
that's good.
Yeah. You have legit like landfall cards. And so, but like that's not a lot. That's like nothing. And so
I guess this is the easy one, Lowry.
How you feel about that?
Is it worth it? For me,
the price is wrong.
No. You don't have like many cards even to work with there. I mean, you're $39. This is costing you $40. I mean, you have the most expensive out of the deck with Ancient Green Warden, but no, there's just not.
That's it.
There's not value there. And even these 3, I liked your other 3 better in the other deck. The first 2 decks I felt like I had really good cards in there. I'm not saying these are bad, but I like the other. If I'm dealing with new cards, I want to get those. I think these are going to be super cheap and easy to get too. So
I can definitely agree with you. There's enough type of overrun effects that Rumbleweed is cool, but I don't know how much that's going to affect it.
Yeah.
And I like to retrace it, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be worth much. So I agree. The new cards that are interesting to me likely will be under $5.
Right.
Maybe around $2.
Yeah. There was nothing like Trouble in Pairs the Trouble in Pairs was in the commander deck. There's nothing like that.
We
where
didn't,
it's like, it's
I
gonna
don't
be a
think there
$20
is one of those in this in these 4.
So
and we don't have any stud reprints like the ones back in the fall.
Yeah, exactly. So the
because
big
each
thing,
one of those had a $20+ card.
Right. We had multiple cards that were over $10 in those. So
yep. So they really dialed it back on this set, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
big thing here is buy singles, but if you don't have these decks, but if you don't have a lot of these cards, it's always good to get pre-con stuff, but the value just really isn't there. You're not going to get a huge bang for your buck, but if any of these tickle your fancy, you can get those. So do you want to hit our tags up? And happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please share, like, and subscribe with the Commander Smiths and everybody. We also have a merch store at commandersmiths.com. We got some mugs and shirts, and I didn't even change into my proper shirt again. What the fuck am I doing this week?
commandersmiths.com. Check that out there.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and
we'll see ya.
This is your part. I don't say
we'll
that
see
line. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry.
Now you say bye.
Bye.
Saga. Gang, the best way to support the Commander Smiths is to make sure you slap that like button, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, commandersmiths.com, where we have metal tokens, mugs, t-shirts, playmats, and more.